Hello everybody, MDpolo here. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Shadow Systems MR920L, and that's for the long slide. As of late, I've been trying to start my videos with the range footage, showing you how it's shot and giving you my shooting impressions. Regrettably, we're not going to be doing this for this video and maybe a few videos to come. I've developed an issue with my eye, especially my right eye, and I am not able to go to the range and shoot right now. Thankfully, I was able to shoot this before that issue developed itself with my eye. And I wanted to let you know some of the shooting impressions, what I thought about the Shadow Systems. It's not the first one we've reviewed in the channel, but I've been trying to get my hands on the MR920L because it's a little bit of a different configuration. I guess it would be akin to the Glock 49 that just came out. And you've got the grip size of a compact, so it would be like a Glock 19 grip size, but with a slide and side radius of a Glock 17. So something that people have been calling for quite some time, and Glock just decided to release it. And the Shadow Systems, the MR920L, this is the Elite. The 920L is only made in the Elite, not in the Combat. And it's a very, very good shooting gun. We'll go through this and give you my final impressions at the end of the video. So like I mentioned, it's got, and by the way, it is safety checked. It's been safety checked before the video. And like I mentioned, it's a long slide mounted on a compact frame. And it is, of course, striker-fired polymer pistol, 9mm. It's got a 4.5-inch barrel. The capacity is 15 plus 1, and it comes with 2 PMags. Some people like them, some people don't like them at all. I'm a bit indifferent. I haven't had any issues with the PMags, so 15 rounds, but it also will accept Glock mags. And here we have a Glock, 15 rounds from a Glock 19, and it goes in just fine, locks back, no issues. So if you prefer to run Glock mags over the PMags, that is not an issue at all. And actually I have another one here from a Glock 19, and this one's got the +2 from Terran Tactical, and it fits just fine. So no issues in running Glock mags, and you can put the big boomsticks in there. It doesn't matter, it'll work just fine. I put these aside. So it is based, like all Shadow Systems, on a Generation 3 Glock. So we're talking about the locking, barrels, the internals, except for the what they had to do for the optics mounting. We'll talk about this in a second. It's all based out of a Glock Gen 3. Based on my scale, it weighs 26.3 ounces, and that is with 15 rounds of Fort Scott 80 grain tumble up on impact ammunition. Without ammo, it weighs in around roughly 22 ounces. The MSRP on this is $1,175. Your street price will vary. I purchased it locally for $999.99. So $1,000 plus tax. But I've seen them as low as $900, and like I said, as high as $1,200. The slide, starting from top to bottom, this slide is stainless steel, is made out of 17-4 steel, and it's coated with a black nitride coating. It's got serrations. Being the Elite model, it's got serrations everywhere, and the serrations are very useful, and they're angled just right, because when you draw it out of the holster, the way the serrations are angled, they're not going to offer any resistance or get caught. But when you're using the serrations for what their intended purpose is, to aid in racking the slide, they're going to grab you just as intended. It's got some, being the Elite model, it's got some lightning cuts on it. Some people may like that. Some people may not like it because they say, well, that's just another entry point for garbage to get in and out. But they're there if you care for them. Staying with the sight, well, up here you're going to see we got sights. They are metal sights. They're a little bit taller than regular sights. It's got the lime green ring with a tritium insert in the front. And in the back, you're going to have just blacked out serrated sights. It's a very good sight picture. And I like, sorry about the focus, just a little, there you go. It was a little too close. The way it's angled, kind of like in a pyramid, it really helps me draw my eye in towards the front sight. So I like them a lot. I like the sights a lot. And like I mentioned, they're a little bit taller sights than what you would find normally on a handgun. And that is because of the optics system that it's got here. So it will accept most major brands of optics without a plate. It's got a shim type system where you just plug in the holes here in the spacer with the shims that they provide you, and that puts the pressure to retain the red dot. And so you can mount most red dots onto the slide without having to use a plate. And because of the way it was cut, and it'll sit a lot lower than most other slides, and you have a really nice co-witness. And what Shadow Systems had to do is, if you can see, the ejector is going to be different. Here we've got a Glock 19 that has already also been safety checked. But if you can see here, you can see the ejectors are different between the two of them, and things had to be moved forward and out of the way in order for this optic system, the mounting system, to work. So there's a lot of work that Shadow Systems put in developing this, and I think it's one of the best mounting systems in the market today. So I'm just letting you take a look here. Staying with the top of the gun, now we're going to go to the barrel. And the barrel is, of course, a match grade barrel, as you can see there. It's a match grade barrel, and it is fluted. It's made out of 416-R stainless steel. And the fluting, some people say that it's also to keep it cleaner, to allow the garbage to, the carbon and other things, to just slide out and not get caught in between the barrel and the slide. So that's the theory, at least. The barrel is black nitride coated as well as the slide, and it is conventional rifling. So whether you like it or not, you can also get the barrel in that really shiny bronze finish. So you're going to see it a lot more, not only through the ejection, the breech here, but also through the lightning cut. Some people like that, some people don't. But that's the only way that is offered with this Elite model. Now going further down, going to the frame. The frame, of course, is polymer, is textured polymer, and that's one of the things they did very well. It's a comfortable frame, and as you can see here, there's texture everywhere. And one of my pet peeves with gun manufacturers is they run the texture to about here. And from here to the top, you have nothing. Fortunately, Shadow Systems didn't go that direction, and they put texture everywhere. Whether, in the back strap, in the front, in the sides, all the way to the top. So you got texture everywhere. And I like that very much. Just going further down, as you can see here, we have a polymer magwell, which fits very nice for my medium-sized hands. I barely have enough room here to get a full grip. Anybody with larger hands, with the magwell, your 3 fingers are definitely going to be squeezed in. but it's very easy to remove. You just pop that pin and out it goes. Also, while you have that pin popped out, you can replace the back straps, and it comes with 3 back straps. And what's nice is the system not only allows you to increase the distance between your trigger shoe and the back strap, but it also allows you to change the angle of the grip. So whether you like the more of the hump of the Glock grip, or you like more of the 1911 type, or you like more of a CZ, like a CZ75 type angle, you have a choice of 3 back straps to change the grip angle. And I thought that was very ingenious. Another thing is, you can see here the undercuts. The undercut and the trigger guard, they give you not only a very deep double undercut here, but also another relief right here. So it's very easy to get a very high grip on the gun, and not only get high here, but it also gives you an index point under the trigger guard for your support hand. So very, very nicely done. There's so many things they really thought about, and just allows you to not have to spend any extra money on your gun, really. You got a single slot rail here to hang your lights, whatever you need to do. Your mag release is textured, is of a good size, but it doesn't get in the way. And it works just like if it was a Glock, because it uses the polymer mags, so they don't just shoot out like if they were made out of metal. And the mag catch, it is reversible. So depending also with which backstrap you go with, you're going to have somewhat of a beaver tail, but I think it's enough so you don't have any issues with slide bite. So overall, Shadow Systems did a fantastic job, and sorry about the focus is not catching up very well. There we go. Now let's talk about the trigger. And the trigger is got an aluminum shoe with the little safety dingus here that makes it almost flat, not totally, but the nice thing is that it really disappears flat into the trigger shoe. I don't like it when Glock sticks out about that much, and after being at the range for a while, at least it starts to make my fingers sore. But this one disappears all the way through. There's been some comments about after you shoot it a lot that this aluminum trigger shoe starts to get hot if you're shooting a lot in one range session, but I guess that's just something we have to deal with. I forgot to mention on the frame, it's got this nice index pat points in the front for your thumb, for your index finger on the other side, because they're not only textured, but you can see there's a ledge here. And while we're looking at that, you can see the takedown levers right here and right here. So it'll take down exactly like a Glock. Just pull it down, pull it back a little bit, pull these things down, release, pull the trigger. Of course, you safety check it before all that, and this slide will pop right out. So letting you look around. So now let's take a look at the trigger. The trigger, after the safety dingus disappears, you've got a little bit of take up right there, and you're at the wall. And then from here, you press through the wall, and it's a very crisp break. You have to mean to push this trigger. And my trigger gauge is coming in at 5 pounds, a little bit over 5 pounds on a 3 pound, on a 3 average pull, through pull average, I'm sorry. And then we go back to the reset. Right there, it pushes as it's with force. I mean, you know for sure it's reset. And then you're right at the wall, and it breaks again. So it's not the softest of triggers, but it's not supposed to be. It's a duty trigger, and I think it does a very good job at it. It is better, in my opinion, than a Glock 19 Gen 5 stock trigger, but They both do their work. Neither one is supposed to be a bullseye gun here. Just letting you walk it around. As far as size is concerned, like I said, is you've got the Glock 19 frame with a Glock 17 slide, and here we've got an unloaded Glock 19, and it does not have the mag well. Let me line them up. Sorry about this. So that's how much longer the MR920L is than a Glock 19. And as you can see, the bottom, they line up perfectly. There you go. Let's talk about holsters. The holsters, if you have a holster for the Glock 19, more than likely it's not going to fit the MR920L. But if you got Glock holsters for a Glock 17 or a Glock 34, more than likely will work for the MR920L. Okay, so you got a lot of holster compatibility if you're going to be using this for carry, as long as, like I said, Glock 17 or Glock 34. Now, what are the shooting impressions for this? It was a lot of fun at the range. When I bought it, at the same time that I purchased it, I bought 200 rounds of 9mm because the manual tells you that you need a 200 round break-in period pretty much for all shadow systems, handguns. So I bought 100 rounds of MagTech 115 grain, and I bought 100 rounds of SNB 124 grain. And I fired them at Range USA. I put a little bit of oil, wiped it down, put a little bit of oil, and went out to the range, shot the 200 rounds, and there was zero problems. It was, can you say, how is that a proof of reliability? Well, maybe 200 rounds is, it's something through it, and with zero problems at all. So very happy with that. It was accurate. The way the ergonomics fit my hand, the grip angle, a little bit of the pressure into my hand from the magwell, and just the way everything is positioned, it was very comfortable. It was easy to control, and it was easy to be accurate with. Like I said, I apologize for not having the video footage, but when I purchased it, I was not planning on filming that day, and I just went out, started shooting, and then after that, I developed that issue with my eye. Hopefully, that'll be sorted out pretty soon. Now, like I said, it's a very soft shooter. It's got substantially less muscle rise than just shooting my Glock 19, so very nice. And it's easy to conceal based on a Gen 3 Glock. It's all very good. So I don't have a lot of negatives. The only thing that if you want to say it's a negative, but that's going to be up to you, it's going to be the price coming in at $1,000. If that's a negative, well, that's a personal situation. The other thing that some people may consider a negative is that it comes with 2 PMags. For $1,000, maybe 3 mags, but if you got Glock mags, it'll take it. So there you go. The Shadow Systems MR920 Elite. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. I can tell you that if you were going to put all this, if you were going to do everything you're doing that the Shadow Systems did for this gun, if I were to do it to a stock Glock 19 like this, I would be spending more than $1,000. No question. I can tell you because I've done it. So you got $500–600 on the gun. You can easily spend another $700–800, if not more, just on everything they did here. So is it worth it? That's up to you. A lot of people are going to be very comfortable with this and saying, I don't need anything else, just a stock Glock 19. And that's perfectly fine. No issues there whatsoever. But if you're going to end up doing all this to it anyway, unless you got very specific ideas on what you want, I think the Shadow Systems just brings it all together at a very, very reasonable price with good engineering and very high quality. You're going to get it in a nice box. It comes in with a big white box. Let's see if I can get that in here. So it comes with a big Shadow Systems box, and it comes in with everything that you need. I'm not going to be able to do this, but it's got up here, you can see it's got the shims and Loctite and everything you need for the mounting the optic. And then it also comes with a very nice range bag. So you can take your gun and your mags and everything to the range. So you get all that for $1,000 in this case. So let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on the Shadow Systems MR920 Elite, the long slide 920L? I look forward to your comments on this. Your comments are my favorite part of the channel, interaction with you. So please be nice, be courteous, be respectful, and I look forward to your comments there. Also, please remember that I upload videos every Friday morning and when I can on Wednesday mornings as well. I'm posting more on Twitter and on other social media. I'm starting to pull away from Instagram. I'm just getting pretty sick and tired of their censorship. But you can find me on Rumble, you can find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Once again, I look forward to your comments. Thank you so much for stopping by. And until the next time, God bless.